Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm the Obscure Joe PT, and for today what I do have in here is Sekiro The Shadows Die Twice, the new game from Software, the developers of Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne. So all those difficult games that have been repeating themselves with slightly changes in gameplay, now they have made a bigger change in gameplay. It is completely different. Yes, it's still a Souls game, but still, oh my god, it's so damn different right now, and I haven't had the time to get the new way of handling this gameplay, so don't expect me to play well in this video. Alright, so I will just be covering in here the performance. So I'm using medium settings in here, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of people will be using high or even maximum settings. This is because the problem with this game, with the Phenom II, it is that it's one of those games where I get CPU bound. So most of the scenarios in here, most of the areas, you will get less performance because of the CPU. So, and if you take a look on the minimum requirements, the game asks for an FX 6300, so we are clearly below the minimum requirements. The game also asks for 4 gigs of RAM and an AMD Radeon HD 7950, which proves to ourselves that we are also below the minimum requirements on the graphics card, which I think it is completely false, because the graphic cards handle quite well the game. I think the problem it is only the CPU, alright? And so taking a look at the settings, the minimum frame rates for me are completely the problem, and you can notice that the higher the settings, the lower the minimums, but not by a big difference. So the frame rate it is a little bit unstable, because if you choose, for example, low settings, you will get a very nice frame rate, having like 50 or 60 most of the time. But when you overview, for example, a small town or areas with much more detail, your CPU gets in the way and you will start to have 30 frames per second. So it gets very weird, because you look at some point you get 30s and you look at the other way and you get 50 or 60. So if you play, for example, with medium or high settings, the bottleneck it is not as much pronounced. You can even go to maximum settings, but also the higher the settings you use, the more you push the CPU. Despite it doesn't push as much as the GPU, it still pushes a little bit more on the CPU. That's why I decided to go with medium settings. And since the CPU was having issues with this game, which is completely normal, what happens is when I'm recording with Relive, there is higher impact. So in this video you can clearly see some areas where I'm going to get 25 frames per second. That didn't really happen without recording. So Shadows, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, you can get this game on Steam for $59.99. This is the regular price for AAA titles of today. But if you go, for example, to Kinguin, you might be able to get it cheaper, especially over time. So I will leave you 2 links on the description of the video. One for Steam, where you can get the game for $59.99 by now, or you can get the game through Kinguin, which should be cheaper, for example, in a week. And it will be also helping out the channel to get more games and faster if you buy through Kinguin. Although, choose what's best for you. Don't get my opinion to get in the way of your decisions. That's what I have to say. Also, I need to add something that I was almost forgetting. It is this game, it is completely locked to 60 frames per second. I was searching on the config files and I didn't find any way to unlock the frame rate. I don't think this is an issue for this PC, because we are not really able to get a stable frame rate, not even close to 60. But if you consider to upgrade your PC in the future, probably you will be surprised that you are not going to be able to get more than 60 frames per second. Like I said, I've searched on the config files and I didn't found anything regarding to VSync or any frame rate lock. And I searched a little bit more on the internet, and everybody says that the game it is completely locked to 60 frames per second. This is no issue for me, but might be for some people with higher end rigs. They might feel limited, or people with high refresh rate monitors might not be so happy with this decision. But still, this doesn't broke down the game for me. I think it's still amazing. So yeah, it's like a new Dark Souls with a different gameplay, which I don't know too well how to play. Alright guys, that's all. Hope you enjoyed the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Hope you did enjoy it until now, and I hope you keep enjoying until the end of it. Goodbye.
Yeah.